Welcome to another episode of our 30-day exhibition series. So we've given you interviews, we've given you tactics, and today we're going to look under the hood at how Madre has prepared for its very first exhibition at Automechanika UK.
Since this is our first exhibition, I want to run through what our thoughts were, what our game plan was going in. So what was the first stepping stones to start the marketing plan for this?
Yeah, so obviously doing it with clients before, I think a lot of the concern and the effort goes towards how we're going to look on the day. You know, it's almost, it could be seen as we want to look the best, you know.
Yeah.
We want
a
to
lot
have
of focus is on
stand.
the stand and
yeah,
that's
but I
pretty
think,
much it.
Yeah, and I think that although we obviously have taken that into consideration, the main thing for us was to make it a marketing campaign as if it was any other marketing campaign. And where a marketing campaign starts and ends is with the customer. So in the same way that when we have a new client onboarding, we will look at the customer profiles, customer personas, and then we will tailor the campaign based on that. Yeah. So that is the first thing that we did. Luckily for us, we're there for exhibitors. So we had a full list on the website that was very easy to get. Yeah. So we went through all of the, obviously we knew a lot of the companies, but we went through all of the Automechanika exhibitors. From there, we narrowed it down to about 100 of the ones that we were like, yeah, we can definitely help. And then from there, we had like our 36, like, we're excited, we could really help. I think the way that B2B aftermarket suppliers could do this is okay, maybe they don't have a website of the people that are going to show up on the day, but what they do have is they have their existing list. They also have prospects that they're going to go out to. So for example, the same way that your sales rep goes, oh, I'm going to go to that workshop and that workshop and that workshop. This is the list that you already have that could obviously be at Automechanika on the day. For the B2B suppliers, unlike us, we know the exhibitors are going to be there because they've paid to be there. It'd be very awkward if they didn't. But that just goes a step further in that the invites need to be sent out. You need to give all of those prospects and that list a reason to come to your stand. Yeah. And I think that then we get into what is that reason. Yeah. And a lot of it should be either free value or you are genuinely solving a problem that is very narrow to that audience. Yeah. For example, if I just said to any other, if we went to Automechanika and we were like, we can do digital marketing for absolutely anybody, anything, we can do anything. You want us to do backflips on Facebook? Let's do it.
Absolutely.
You know,
watch this. But
that isn't really a core pain point of our ICP. So in the same way that B2B suppliers might be able to do a lot for a lot of people, it's probably going to be best if you segment your audience and either talk about the pain. So if you had 4 segments, talk about the pain in slightly different ways, or you could narrowly focus this campaign on a specific problem that you believe is going to drive those sales forward. In that, the free value that we gave out is the audit. So our guys, all the marketing experts that we have that are specific for the aftermarket, have gone away and done a deep dive into the socials as well as the SEO. And our main thing is that we believe that the aftermarket isn't caught up when it comes to social. The free value that we were given was the audit as well as then a free promotional video. And the reason that the free promotional video is important is because first off, these things can cost £2,000 upwards to get produced, edited. But equally, it shows how quick and how good we are, and we wanted to give a taste of that. And I think that with a lot of these offerings and demonstrations, confidence is a big key, right? Which is that we believe that we can deliver this outcome, and we will show you that we can do it. So I'd say that that's something that most suppliers should look at is, you know, when we were talking with Tina Drayson, for example, she was like focused on the outcome. And I think that it seems really obvious, but sometimes we're like, well, no, actually, we just have this offer going on this ADAS kit of, you know, you get this many panels for free, and that's great, but you're not actually then talking about the outcome, you're just talking about a discount, which could devalue the offering that you're giving away. So once we had that free value, it was okay, we have our list, we know who our prospects are, and we know who our main targets are. So for us, the 36 that we specifically want to go after, we have sent mail to them directly as digital marketers.
Why did we do that though?
So the reason for that was because when it comes to email, especially with organisations, although it can be incredibly effective, it can go into spam. What actually happens with a lot of emails now, if you're on an iPhone, for example, and you have the Mail app, when that email comes through, it can actually be read as opened when it's not been. So it means that your open rates are actually quite unreliable. Not that you should track open rates in a campaign like that, it should be more conversion rates. But for us, it just meant that if we were sending that out, we are not entirely sure that they got it. And these 36 specifically, we want to make sure that they've got it. And First Class Sign For is going to do that, you know.
Well, yeah. But I think in addition to that is like, I think Tim Bedson made the point of, you could argue that print can come back in a way, or you can utilise print in a way as this, you know, because so many people are going to be sending invites via email. They're going to be doing that. They're going to be doing social. So the way to personally do it is print is a good choice to do, I believe. As well, it's the intention. I feel like everyone can, you know, automation now, it's so easy to send out an email, which we love. It's great ease of use and time, but the print is just an added element. It's a humanised touch, so.
Yeah, and that's why in it as well, we've done a handwritten note that's specifically like to show that we have it's me writing the note, I've genuinely looked at the company. Sending out those invites, I'd say, is one of the keys. But I'll just get into quickly that we have also been doing the email outreach as well as LinkedIn outreach. Now, we did the LinkedIn outreach and the email outreach prior and after this series. The response of what we had after versus before has been completely different, because not only did we have a few people that had almost ghosted, or, you know, just didn't have time for another marketer in their email, like we're well aware, it wasn't until we started putting out that series that they then messaged me or messaged us. And I think that the key to that is in the lead up. Like, I know that we're now 2 weeks out, this might go out when we're a lot closer than that, but if you're doing any other exhibition, I would specifically up the amount of content that you're doing in between. So first off, you can grow that list of prospects that you want to be at the stand, but secondly, it gives you that validation, authority, and trust that you're not getting if you weren't doing anything. I'm not saying that you have to do a daily 30-day series.
Don't do it.
But for us, that has worked, and it's allowed us to gain traction. And because we brought in people from the industry, it's allowed us to get
really directly speak with them and see their pain points. And because we're doing a chat that's lasting from like 20 minutes to an hour, we're really getting to the bones of these people. Like, we're not having like a group chat. We're speaking to them. We're hearing them. We're hearing their thoughts. We're then serving them with a batch of content to then emphasise what we do, so that they can see for themselves, they can utilise these assets and then also grow their personal brand at the same time. So it's just layering that in the meantime as well.
Exactly, it's giving people the resource to shout about you more. And in the same way that with our 30-day series, it's allowed people to see that we do speak automotive aftermarket, right? Is that, like, we know the problems that are going on in the industry, we've been in the industry for a long time, and that is exactly what content can do for your customers. Now, when I was talking about that narrow pain point that you can tailor the stand towards, you can do that equally with content. And for example, if up to the exhibition, I am like rubbing salt in the wound to say, like, I'm pushing on that pain point a bit, which is like, okay, if you're not doing ADAS calibrations in-house, this could be what's happening, you know, your key-to-key times, your dealer, sending it out to dealers. So there's all of these things that I can press on that pain point in the lead up, that I'm actually educating and opening up a space that maybe previously they weren't thinking of. Could be that a lot of garages are thinking about other things right now. Content has made them put it on the list, and that's what content does, is it influences and builds credibility to your brand, because you're the one that did the influencing. So
preach.
Yeah, so that's what we've done in terms of outreach. Is we've done the 30-day exhibition series, and that has shown a a monumental increase. We're talking over 10 times in the reply rate that we've had from the outreach in comparison.
So we had our eyes set on a few people that we wanted on the interviews.
Yes.
And then next minute we're posting the content for ourselves and they're reaching out to us. So it's building that rapport as well.
And I think the important part of this is that we're only 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
You know, previously we've only been doing stuff for clients.
Yeah.
You know, mechanic's car, decorator's house, whatever.
At the bottle.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, we've been focused on that, and that's great, but then also now we've had to give time to ourselves. So it's not that this has to take years. Like, it's literally been 2 weeks.
Saying that, would you agree that this is probably our most busiest time that we've had for ourselves? We've never once had to focus so much time and energy on ourselves, because with Automechanika you have to get the stand ready. Like, we're in the same bubble as like our audience. We want to look good too, so we've had to dedicate time towards that. But on top of that, we've layered the 30-day series. Like, we've really gone to town on our own stuff whilst managing customer deliverables.
After the outreach, you know, hopefully people respond. That would be nice.
Please.
Yeah, there'll be like phone calls, you know, the traditional stuff, just like, did you get that in the post, for example. But
on that, before you stray away, because I feel you leaving it, you've been sending voice notes to people, and I think that's like a really personable way. So as the 30-day series has gone on, people have connected with you. You know that is part of like the 100. What type of message are you sending to these guys?
So with a voice note, the reason that I think that is more effective than a text is, first
you don't
off,
have that drop down option, so you can't even like skim and ignore.
You can't see. It's like an element of surprise. It's like this little mysterious bar.
Here we go.
Yeah, and then also for me, dyslexia, it's a lot easier for me to just message. So it gives my tone. It shows that, you know, I could say things like, oh, I remember when your company did this and this, and I really liked it, or I remember speaking to you at this, or whatever. I think the thing is that, you know, there's a million other marketers in there, and you also can't get the tone of voice, which is why we love video so much. Is because of that. Is that you get the tone of voice, you get the personality, you get the excitement, and you can say a bit more. So far the voice messages have worked. It's upped the response rate. So yeah, I'd say that those two components, a lot of it, when it comes to just content versus a voice note, they're not too dissimilar. It's just showing more personality and showing a bit more confidence as well. You know, anybody can send a message. ChatGPT can do it for you now.
Yeah.
But getting on with either a phone call or a voice message, you know, as much as we're digital marketers and it's all automation, it's all whatever, that's what makes something different, especially in like the age of AI. Being more personable, being more human, and taking that extra step to send the mail, to send the voice note, to create the video content. It's just a lot. There's a lot more impact in there, and I think that that's going to be the differentiator between other companies and those that are on with AI.
There's too much noise there now, because everyone's doing it. Like, marketing companies now, we're AI assisted and AI. It's like, that's great, but so is everyone else.
The thing is that that's not the flex that you think it is.
It's not.
I think
it's like too many people are doing that. So when you're doing the personal voice notes, and it's not like this is a lost art, but we need to really like amp up and be like, this is what it does, because so many people are using AI templates, they are doing AI prompts, they're doing everything assisted, so we are losing that touch. So now more than ever, get on the voice note, send print, you know, make it personal, because people aren't seeing that. So it's actually an opportunity to do all this now.
Yeah, that's kind of the mix. It is print, voice note, create content around your brand so that you're building that authority and so that people kind of know you already.
Yeah.
That would be like the main takeaway for me. Then we can get into tactics. So it's great to send out outreach, but as with any marketing, you need a funnel, right? That's our favourite thing. And for that, it's a simple landing page. So that's what we've done specifically, is a landing page for the different campaigns that we're running.
Yeah.
So the first one is to pre-book the audit. So for that 100 that we're reaching out to, they can pre-book so that we do a specific audit for them should they want it. You know, if they're interested in getting, rather than the one that we're doing on the stand, which is great and is the majority of it, it's just not, it's more automated, so you can get it there and then. Whereas the one that we've been doing for the 36 is specifically our experts looking at all of your social profiles and then doing the SEO audit.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a great way to do it also, because it's time saving for the team as well. You know, like if people generally want it, their offer is there, but you have this time frame and an urgency in it. So they either take it because they're like, oh, that's a limited spot, there's limited time. But it's also making it more manageable for the team because everyone knows at this time it's a bit crazy for everyone.
Yeah.
So that's a good approach.
On the landing pages, we've added dynamic content. So dynamic content essentially just means it'll have their name, it'll have their brand name, and we can switch that out at each time. It's not to say it's not personalised, it is, because we have to then put that information in there, but it just allows us to streamline things a lot quicker, and with the customer still knowing that we know this is specifically for you. So calling that out. The other thing that we've done from that landing page is then once they book, we then obviously collect a bit of information, and then that's given us that opt-in. So that's one of the landing pages. The second one is for the promotional video, because there's only a few slots going of them.
This is one of my favourites.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's first come, first serve as well, isn't it? So what we've done there is you can select 3 templates. The first is a general overview of your company. The second is to announce that you're Automechanika. And then the third is the product launch, And then you've done amazing videos for them, basically explaining what that video is. So when they click on that, they'll then get all of the information that they need, and then it will go into booking.
Yeah. I do want to touch on, though, why did we go ahead with the general overview, the product launch, and we're Automechanika for our audience? Like, what is the relevancy?
Because that's most likely what is happening. So a lot of the companies that we're looking at, there will be some kind of launch at Automechanika. We've spoken to them. The other one is that a lot of people do like to announce that they're at the show. And also the main reason
ties
that,
into the efficiency of our deliverables.
Exactly. That was our main thing, is that if you want to announce you're at Automechanika, we get in a video and we need to edit that as quick as possible. We can't give you that after Automechanika. So it's kind of showing that we're going to get this done as quickly as possible for you, and that is one of our strengths. And then the general overview is just if you want to look cool on your stand, and just, you know, if you don't have anything specifically to launch and you would want more of an evergreen video, you know, just take advantage of the production.
People do believe the content's stale, but it's also what people are buying into right now, and what gets engagement, and what people are used to in a way and they're familiar with. So I think these templates do favour that, things that they're familiar with, but to a higher quality, to a higher standard, and that's something that they can get out now, you know, so it's favourable. They're showing their stand where they're at, because even if they don't choose the We're Automechanika video, the background, we're going to exhibitors' stands, so that we can fit, because originally we were going to do it at our stand, we were going to set it up in that way so that they were in this studio, base thing, but we decided, like, the people who are going to Automechanika, they put in so much work for the stand, let the video speak for themselves, let them show the stand, let them show the brand, so it's actually a branded video at the same time.
And that's how, like, things evolve, isn't it? Is that if you have your customer in mind specifically, then this is where the original idea, when you're specifically tailoring it to your customer and not your company,
exactly,
that allows you to then have that flexibility and allows you to know that you're making the correct decision.
And it's easier for research purposes. Like, the reason that we did go for that, because we researched what popular videos were in that industry, so it's not straying away from that, but it's keeping it in there, but also just giving fresh, vibrant ideas and letting them see how we would go about that. Because at the end of the day, if they don't like the experience with us, they won't be working with us. What better way to demonstrate our personality, our feel, how they feel with us guiding them behind the camera? What better way to be like, you can have this every month, because we do a filming day every month for our clients. What better way to introduce that feeling and that energy and that experience than to do that in-house on the day?
The other things that we've done for the landing pages is what's called UTM tracking codes. So again, because we're treating this as a marketing campaign, an important part of that is the tracking. A UTM code is essentially, it gives the source the channel of where it is. So it's just the normal URL with something that comes after it. You can use a service like Bitly to also create these trackable links, basically. So it's bit.ly. For us, we use it with inside V8 CRM, which is the CRM that we sell for aftermarket businesses. And what that allowed us to do is create a dashboard inside V8 that would show us all of the campaigns that we're running. And because the sales cycle is so long for B2B sales, we will know where that first touch point came from, and then we can follow that customer's journey. So even if in the next 6 months they pop in, we can attribute that back to that initial campaign that we did.
And I think as well, that also tells us what we can do for next time and what works, and what to, you know, to make it more manageable, because it's all like testing and just seeing, finding out what works and what doesn't.
Exactly. So with those landing pages, with that print campaign, with that outreach, having these trackable links just allows you to first hold yourself accountable to maybe what the conversion rate should be, or how many you should send out in order to get XYZ results. You can work all of that back. But again, it also gives you that data over the long run, and like you said, you can say, okay, well that worked, maybe that didn't, or maybe we tweak it for next time. So you have this running data log, which I think is honestly missing in exhibitions. Although we have like the scanning of the tags, it doesn't usually get as deep as that.
Yeah.
I think it is important to do that. So I would say that that is something that I would do. So
I think the reason why we do that is because we track pretty much everything in our business, so that we knew that when it comes to the exhibition, we were already thinking in that manner and thinking in that way and thinking through that lens. So it's because what that's done for us, it's allowed to collect so much of our client data. It's allowed us so much of our clients' data. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just a continuous thread of tracking, knowing what's good, knowing where our efforts are best placed in that sense.